You are welcome. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, we are live, not Memorex. So welcome to episode number 3 with Krista, Blindly Inspired, or at Blindly Inspired. You can check out her YouTube page there, and just type in Blindly Inspired. She's the only one that shows up, so we don't have to put much into the chat there. It's real easy to type in Blindly Inspired. So welcome. She's a Feng Shui expert there, and we're going to need some Feng Shui this week. Welcome to this week. You know what this week is if you're watching this. It's going to be an interesting week, and so we're going to learn how to go with the flow with some Feng Shui. I saw in the chat there that Nathan Nathan has moved. So congratulations to Nathan and his apartment. Hopefully you got a hold of Krista and you guys are in touch. And there we go. And so blessed. Nathan, favorite to your new apartment. And welcome to all who are here, Karen and Millie. Henny, Chris the volunteer. Hope you're checking out his Chris the volunteer, his cards with Gabrielle on the daily basis. Karen Suki, my I-25 neighbor, and welcome all. And it looks like that's what we got in the chat at the moment. All right, and if you're hanging here and not in the chat, welcome as well. We're grateful that you're watching. All right, welcome to Krista here. Welcome. On it's going to be an interesting week in America here. So, how are you doing? How's life in Germany over there?
I try not to watch the news, but I did hear via America that VW have closed three or four plants, which means that 300,000 people are going to be without a job. And the rest of them at VW are having to take a 10% cut in salaries.
Oh, wow.
So,
what happened to the people's car?
They keep pushing it. They want a recession, you know, and this is where we need to really, there was a saying that I used to love many years ago. We need to keep our feet firmly on the ground and don't reach for the stars. It's rude. Ask somebody to pass them to you.
Ask them to pass the stars. Nice.
Right. So that's where I'm hoping that the message today will be. As I said, I have written copious notes over the week, you know, just reminding myself what I need to say tonight, and they keep coming up at the same thing. So and everything's like scattered all over the place here, but I'm sure that we will get the message across what's meant to be. Wow.
Karen can speak German. She put something German into the chat there.
Ich kann well, you write better German than me. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen, aber schreiben ist schrecklich, which is part of my problem. And yeah, my German's, it's interesting. Some people really don't understand me. It's a long story, but it is where it is right now. So thanks, Karen. We'll have some talks in German. I actually think I know the Germans really need this. When I see the spiritual page, it's terrifying. They are so like, I don't know. Interesting. We'll talk a little bit about Germany because we were just talking about some things earlier. And well, maybe I'll just start off with that. I saw that you had a picture of Madame Blavatsky. So, you know, I have quite a lot of interesting knowledge, which is very interesting because she was a co-creator of the you've got to say that, Theosophical Society.
Right, say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, and at the same time, there was Rudolf Steiner. Rudolf Steiner wasn't really accepted by anybody because he was totally unique and in his own little pluck. That stuff is really very, very intellectual. And just recently, I've been like quite fascinated with, because I was kind of brought up with that. My mother was into the spiritual society and metaphysics, and she was reading Madame Blavatsky. For lack of saying it any nicer, I would just like, unless you're really called to go down that route, just stay away from it right now. The other people that I can direct you in a better direction. I'm not denying she was incredible. She was of Russian royalty, and her ability to travel and dig into the mysteries and reveal a lot of things, and to what do they call that? To read. What do you call that? Where you go in your body and you read. I know. Anyway, the Germans stole a lot of. They actually grabbed hold of her information, and led by Himmler, they went off in search of Shangri-La. In the 20s, I think, in the 1900s and the 20s. And there was a whole group of the elites which had this very metaphysical interests. And if you talk about it here and you mention that to any of the Germans, they just laugh at you and they tell you that you're crazy. But this last week, I've actually just found so much incredible proof in the form of videos and things. So off they went, and what they could, because they wanted a lot of these metaphysical secrets from Tibet. Many parties were lost. They were told to really just be off, and what they came back with was the symbol, which was incredibly powerful, as we know, the symbol that the Nazis used. Then they, after the war, because they had access to the Glock, which they were doing space travel with and space creating other means of transportation. And that was then they connected and researched that thing, and then they went off to the Antarctica with, was it Colonel Bird? It wasn't Paperclip. It was something else. I was trying to think of what the name was.
Admiral Byrd, yeah.
Admiral Byrd, yeah.
Yes.
And that was with some of the Germans to go and see what had gone on and happened there. Yeah. I say we can do a whole long discussion on that one, but I would, I think we've got enough to know, and that's my whole, and I think so many people are having the same message right now, is literally keep your feet firmly on the ground this week, especially this week. Be unshakable in who you are. I was just looking at the chat earlier on how people are just, and this makes my heart sing. People are starting to use their voice and wanting to do music and to do sound, which is this is just finding your own sound. Don't look out there too much. You're going to get scattered for kind of penny thrills in the spiritual community. And if you're halfway awakened right now, you need to just embrace who you are. Back to your portal. I can't emphasize how much that is to get yourself on the ground and to use that portal as a training tool, so that every time you go through a door until it becomes permanent prayer that you're in. The violet flame, Josh, is just pouring at the moment. And for any, we're doing a lot of quick dramas in our life. Oh, Josh, what you are doing is just incredible. I don't think you realize how powerful that thing we do. The first one I tuned into, I think, was on Adam's birthday. And you did this little thing so quickly and so by the way, and so easy, of painful birthdays. And you did a clearing of that.
Mhm.
That is one of the most powerful things that you're doing and that I've come across. I don't know anybody else that's doing that. You did it again this week with the Halloween. And I just found, as I'm sure everybody else found it, but how many things just came up, but so quickly, and then clear. So when you're called to do them again, they are just mwah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do want to jump in real quick. Nathan put in, and we've been sending energy, and we talked about it last week. So he obviously manifested everything for his apartment too. So we just want to keep seeing. We're just keep putting out people's awesome moving up. So Fantastic, Nathan. And
Awesome.
yeah, now I got your
Awesome.
address. We're gonna get some crystals and such out too to get some energetics going in your place.
Now I've got a face to Nathan. That's awesome. Yeah, I have connected as I did send. We'll look at his apartment tomorrow.
Perfect.
So yeah, the violet flame. We're getting already. Also, these are things that are just like really so. For myself, but for everybody else, we're really heading up for the 1111, which you've been working with really beautifully. And I don't know if anybody's aware, but from 1111, it's 40 days until the winter solstice. So that's an incredibly huge, very powerful time gap. And whenever there's like major transformation on the earth, it's usually on the solstices, and very often that winter, our December solstice. So just really focus on ourselves, as I say, keep our feet on the ground. There is so much outpouring of the violet flame right now. If you're feeling wobbly, just stop 2 seconds, violet flame. Just like let it just drain through you. Don't get stuck into any of your old dramas.
Yeah, if you're
So
watching this, we've got we've given everybody the violet flame. So you have the gas dial to the violet flame. You don't even have to invoke it. Literally, if you just
absolutely.
turn it in and just turn it all the way to 10, you clear, and all the way to 1 is the pilot. So you guys
Yeah,
have the violet flame on you. It's built in with you, and Saint Germain's giving you the gas plug, like the plug on a gas stove, to just turn it on whenever you want. So that's literally all you have to do, and you'll feel the violet flame.
absolutely. But I'm just like, people just remember it, because this is hugely, it's going to get even bigger and bigger and bigger. And what's happening a lot on the 11th is there's going to be a huge reopening. I mean, Mother Gaia is just doing incredible things. She's just coming into her own, and there's going to be a big healing of the elemental kingdom, and which we vibrate with the 5 elements, which is why I just absolutely love the stuff that I'm doing. Because it is definitely a blueprint of our ancient future. This blueprint, it is a blueprint for Mother Earth. It's one of the simple, it sounds like a lot, but it is actually, once you get to know all of the workings with it, it's really quite simple. And as I said last week, and I'm going to ask you to do it again this week, I'll post another beautiful chant of Om Namah Shivaya, which I just recently realized that it was actually vibrating with the 5 elements, and obviously the holy sound of Om. So it works very beautifully with clearing your home, clearing yourself. It is somewhere along the line in my teaching, in my learnings, one of the well, there are 2 suggestions. One is that we break away from our religion that we were brought up with, and then we become what the Buddhists call hungry ghosts. And if we go to India or to Tibet and we become a Buddhist, or we convert to Judaism, or we just turn our backs on our religion. And it was very interesting at the time when I started with Feng Shui, the Chinese were turning their backs hugely on Feng Shui. And it's actually a very derogatory term for some people, that they would say that their grannies were so Feng Shui, which means they're so superstitious. So they kind of were throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Then what happens is, after you've been a hungry ghost for a while and explored all sorts of religions and different teachings and different belief systems, you come back in a way to your own religion, to your own it's not religion, to your own foundation, to your own belief system. But then you've actually taken what you want out of it. Then over and above that, there's another suggestion that you choose an ancient religion, and you don't believe it, but you explore the knowledge of it, and that becomes almost like a super. They call it an uber guru. An Uber guru, and it's actually a Tibetan term. An Uber guru is a guru that you don't follow, but you listen, you're interested in their teachings and their wisdom. Personally, I don't do sad guru. I mean, he's done amazing stuff. But anyway, you try to use that information because and this is, I think, where people are having this deep desire to know about Madame Blavatsky, Annie Besant. That was the whole group of them, and see, when I'm not supposed to talk about things, I can't think of their names. Manly P. Hall. I think you'll get a lot of really good information on some of those old things on, no, he doesn't really do that much. But still, anyway, that's Manly P. Hall was 33, but so was Annie Besant. They were actually 33 degree Freemasons. What I suggest that you do this week is actually Google for yourselves, or I'll post it, The Great Invocation, which was this incredibly beautiful prayer, which Annie Besant put through, I think it was in 1935 or 1939, which she had deeply channeled to actually protect the world with the war. I think things could have got a lot worse if we didn't have that prayer. So I'll post that on my thing, which is, and if you listen to it really carefully, it's like, from the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being, let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. May the great messenger of love return to earth. From the center which the Holy Masters know and serve, oh golly, I've lost it now. Let purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. May it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. So if we say that, we really need that invocation as much as possible. I've done a lot of thinking about that. I kind of really started working with that in the 90s. And it is, I think I mentioned it to Josh in the last thing. It was like, why are we not given power? Let love and light descend. So we have not been given the power as human beings until we can work properly with love and light. Otherwise, we get into the power and forget about the love, and we use the power for ourselves. So that's, as I said, what is our best weapon? Our weapon right now is love and light. And the more that we stand in our power, especially this week, is with our feet firmly on the ground, as in Feng Shui, that we are the center point between the heaven and the earth. And we are human beings, and we are direct channels for this light. This is why I've been saying, work at your front door, channel that light, stop for a second, be in your heart, connect to the heavens, connect to the earth. We need to connect hugely to the earth. This is keeping our feet firmly on the ground, and our beautiful channeling of the amazing energy from above. The Chinese use this beautifully in their all these symbologies. As I've said, this is Feng Shui is 90% common sense and maintenance, and 100% observation. It all came from observation. And one of the things that you're not to use, you mustn't use the food dogs in your house. You use them outside, except the Chinese do have those turquoise ones. And those they put in the family room where the family is to create harmony, which is that incredible blending of the blue and the green. And then we get turquoise. So you can use that in your brain. Before I knew this, I used to work with howlite between my two children. I put a piece of howlite, which was supposed to create, which does create harmony between siblings, and that really worked. But you can work with turquoise. It doesn't have to be a food dog. You can just have a turquoise bowl. Now that you know what the turquoise stands for, it bringing in the balance between the heaven and the earth, and we are the human, this incredible human. We are going back to the original plan. I think I did mention it before. I prefer to work with Mu, the Lemurian time, which was before Atlantean, but we also lost it there, and that's where the original Feng Shui scripts and the 64 trigrams were given on the back of a turtle to Lao Tzu, who has, so if you want to do some good reading, is read the Tao. Any book, any page will be amazing. The Way, as another great beautiful master said, I am the way, the truth, and the light, or the life. Yeah, cleaning, yeah, 40 days. I had such a bad, yeah. What we're working with, the aim of getting the way I teach it, but it does come through. It's had such a bad rap for so long. And as I said, Mr. Gates did use Feng Shui, and he had a shark tank instead of a fish tank in his foyer, so we can see where that went. Obviously, a shark tank works better than a fish tank, and if you can't have a fish tank, you can have a picture of fish. Rather have a picture of fish, if your fish are going to die, that's even worse. So what we're looking to do is to brand ourselves, which is why we want to get that front portal. I'm sorry if I sound like a stuck record, but it is just so important to get your front door, your portal out there, and your energy as you come in that front door. That's what's really so important. Obviously, if it's like dirty or needs a sweep, or your numbers are going down, or the doors are creaking, all of these things are creating this like reflection of who you are, putting your voice out there onto the planet, which is going to be a little scrappy around the edges. And I think also why I'm working the way this is kind of how I would teach, because there is so much, and it's not just about finding your wealth point, because when we get to that, there are 9 areas that you work with. Well, 8 plus 1, we don't work with 9. 8 plus 1 is not 9. 8 plus 1 is 8 plus 1. Okay, so what we're going to look at doing is branding ourselves, creating your brand as Josh or Mr. Floyd's Universe. And a nice way to do it before this stuff is written on the tablets of your heart. I've strongly believed that for many years, because it's written. The truth is written on the tablets of your heart. So we don't really need so much out there. We need to just observe nature, be with nature, love nature, but we'll get into that just now. So branding yourself is because I think that's why I also said a lot of people have got, I just see, I've got a Feng Shui nightmare. So hopefully some of the things that I've said about the bedroom and cleaning up, have infiltrated into your consciousness and become part of your will, and you've actually started clearing up things and knowing that your bed is a very sacred space, making your bed in the morning, having a beautiful evening, closing off beautifully and dedicating your spirit to God in your travels when you go to sleep. So have a look in your home. I used to work with jewelry, or a lot of things I worked with this. I often asked people to just find 2 or 3 things that were really very special to them at that time, at that moment in their time. And that's your brand. It might be a seashell, it might be a pillow, a blue pillow, and say a seashell. So those are the colors that you can already start thinking. We'll get into it clearer when we know our elements, and they're always spot on. That this is the brand that you're going to put through your home. You want to have a theme, whether it's a color theme or an energy theme. Too much craziness is going to make scattered energy. We want this beautiful, sacred palace, which is our home, our theme, our brand Krista, or brand Josh, or brand Millie. And it takes like half a moment of thought. Like if you've decided your kitchen to be shades of white and black, it takes half a second to make those choices when you're shopping, whether it's for canisters or for utensils or plates. Try to keep within that theme. That's branding yourself. How this stuff works, I don't know if I've got this, but this was before my Feng Shui days. It was in my happy clappy Christian days, which is a very scary space to be. But a very beautiful space to be, but a very scary space to be. There was a story that, I don't know if any of you have heard the story. It was a woman, she went to a garage sale and she bought a blue vase. She just fell in love with this blue vase. And when she brought this blue vase home, she went to put it on her table. And her table was untidy. So she tidied her table and she cleaned her table. And she put the blue vase on her table. And then when she looked at the blue vase on her table, she saw that the shelves were untidy. So she cleared out the shelves. And then she decided that the carpet needed to be changed. So she changed her carpet. And then the carpet didn't match the carpet in her bedroom. So she changed that. And the story goes on and on and on. And it was all, she changed her whole life. She ordered her whole home. She cleaned up her whole energy field, all because of one blue vase. I just love that story. So find your objects that you think carefully about it. Spend some time meditating. So this goes into another very big aspect of what we need to do with Feng Shui, is make some piles. Do I need it? Do I love it? Do I want it? Anything that's incomplete, incompletion drains your energy. So if you've been feeling tired, and those things will go in another pile where you will also say, I will complete this. I will never complete this. I'll let it go. So you're given this opportunity this week to have a look at a lot of these things in your life. Please, please, please try to clear out some of your energy. That's cool. Hi, Mr. Medium. Hi, Adam. Cool. Just have it on in the background. So, yeah, thank you. Very honored to have you here. So, yeah, it's really, really important. It's interesting. For many years, I had a beautiful photograph of my parents when they were still young. And it was one of my most favorite pictures of them. And my mother, a few years ago, told me that that was such a dreadful day, that they'd had such a horrible fight. And it was such a shock because that was such an inspiring picture for me. And it must have been every time she saw that photograph, she must have remembered that horrible, horrible argument. And my mother said it was horrible. It must have been really horrible that they had had. So look very carefully at photographs and objects and clothing. This is your week, clearing out. We're wanting to make ourselves more and more strong and in our power. So if we can just clear out the physical things that don't serve us, clothes that don't fit us, either we're going to get into them. There's lots of people out there that need clothing. I'm sure that you've got lots of street people where you can, if you don't want to sell them. In Germany, we have no resale value of things, so we have bins to put them in where they go to poorer people. But I'm sure that you can take armloads of things. And as you give, you're going to get so much blessing. You're going to feel yourself get lighter. And we're too full. We need to just light. We need to make space for this incredible light, which is coming in, especially from 11:11. But it's going to take it's here, and it's going to take a few. It's not just 11:11 that we've got to say, well, I'm open to this now. So back to our portal. Okay. I hope that we're doing stuff with water, because water is the first element that brings life. I do believe water came from another planet to bring life here millions and billions of years ago, and that's where life started as energy. So yet again, drinking the clearest, cleanest water you can. Oh, I'll post it as well. There is a site, if you Google it, it's called Find a Spring. I think it's called Find a Spring. They do it worldwide, but mainly in America, where you can go and find a spring, and you can go and either buy spring water or go and collect your own spring water.
Yeah, Find a Spring is an excellent website. There's a spring around here that I found from that website itself. But you can also get, if you go on Amazon, zero water filter.
Yeah.
It's like $40. It gets rid of all. It's $40, and it contains the water filter and the pitcher, the reservoir, and it's like it gets rid of 99.9% of everything. I mean, no fluoride. It comes with a TDS meter, just total dissolved solids, and you can see it comes out to zero when you do. So you want to take some electrolytes if you drink something like that, because you have no
Yeah.
minerals in your water. But you get no fluoride, so that's about as clean as it's going to get for $40 on Amazon. You can't beat it.
Yeah, but if you can make a journey up to a spring water, or just go sometime to that spring, even if you collect a bottle and then you just put a drop in the water that you have, water is just incredible. Water is so programmable and has such incredible memory. And I mean, when I drink water here, or I think of it, I go to our lake and I think, well, or even the air that we breathe. I'm breathing in the same air that Josh breathes. At some time, Josh and I have shared exactly the same breath, because what he's breathing out will come up in the clouds and come down in the rain. But sooner or later, we are sharing the same air. So this is about us all being one and being responsible. But yeah, water, 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 water. It still, unfortunately, goes through those pipes, which is not so good for us. But it's the best water that you can afford. And if the best water you can afford is coming out of your tap, just talk to it. Yeah, talk to it. It takes exactly 2 seconds. And especially if we're programming our glass of water for the first glass of water in the morning, that we drink it as a tonic. Maybe think of, health, wealth, happiness. Program your water. Have a little prayer that you say. A little bit of lemon and a little bit of salt is also awesome in your water. Because we are a battery, so both of those stimulate our battery, and this is what we need. We need to you're going to hear, I think so many people right now are going to be talking about purifying ourselves so that our energy we're open to getting more beautiful energy from the sun and from the cosmos, and obviously from Mother Earth. Don't forget I think I did tell you about that one where you just stand and you connect. I always connect up first, but most people connect down first. It really doesn't matter. And you'll feel it go click wherever it's meant to click, and then send I like a big golden anchor down into the crystals, right down into the middle of the earth. But you'll find where it needs to be, and really anchor that. We need to anchor so much. We're not going to be any use to anything. We have to, as I said, we are the capacitors right now. We are holding this incredible energy for those of us that are even halfway awakened. We are holding that energy from the sun. And we're going to have to be holding it even more and more and more. And please just keep your feet on the ground. There's going to be another whole surge of the great flash wara fish paste story again. I think we all like went into that whole great flash. It's like the elections. Yes, it will change your life, but how much is it going to change your life tomorrow? You can do more by anchoring and clearing out your energy, just grabbing in your and Josh will remind us his healing is superb and phenomenal and quick and fast and clean and pure. Thank you, Josh. Lots and lots of violet flame. You are really being an emissary here for Saint Germain. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you. You know what flips me out is if you look at that picture on my community page, I'm not saying anything, but he's short. I'm 5'3.5". He's got a goatee, literally space goatee, just like me. And he's got a whole face, but there's a lot of similarities. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't know any, but there's a lot of similarities that in that picture in Saint Germain on the community page there with Madame Blavatsky.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just as I say, don't go down rabbit holes right now. We don't have the time to waste people going down rabbit holes. Those that are halfway awake right now. I salute Adam. Adam hasn't got a clue anymore what's going on out there. He's just focusing on his stuff, and I salute him for that. It's absolutely wonderful. There are those that have that's their journey. Stop and think carefully. What are you? Are you a light worker? And it doesn't matter what you are if you can't get the right term. Some of us are just here to spread the light, to just walk around as big beacons, pumping love and smiling at all the sour people on the earth. And that's fine. I don't realize how amazing just my little walks and talking to some of the old people here matter in their lives. And they see my dog, and then they with their family, and they say, "Oh, that's my dog. I know that dog. I talk to you, don't I? I talk to you." And it's like, yeah, we know each other. We don't know our names, but it's just the little smiles that we talk to the old people. People don't really talk to people in Germany. Okay, so I wanted to, there was so much. That was the car. Okay, I didn't get that through clearly last week because I did have such a bit of a headache. So let's try and get a really beautiful, simple routine in the morning. And the simpler, the better. Anybody that's giving you complicated things to do, run away. It's really, really, really simple. God is just incredibly simple. So it was pause, and it was because I changed that A. It's actually pews, but as I said, I didn't like the religious connotation. But pause, and this should take you very, very little time. The P is for prayer or meditation. The first thing you wake up in the morning, just lie in bed and do some affirmations. Just embrace the energy of the new day for yourself, because every day is a whole new birth. Do your meditation. The A or the E is for exercise, and we need to stretch because the energy is coming down our spine. I think I did mention it to you, and I do pray a lot, so you can tune in and get my spinal meditations that I do at the lake. So it's a stretch, and it's really just like 2 minutes, just to keep your back straight. Stretch back, stretch forward, twist around. These are money exercise. I'm going to throw in my money exercise, which is doing squats. If you want to do 36 squats, because that was my money exercise. That improves your base chakra. And if you concentrate on the word money, This is seriously one of the biggest gold nuggets that you're getting from me right now. If you work with abundance and money, 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 as you're doing that squat, it hugely empowers that base chakra. The other exercise I like to do, which is for focusing, because we need to get here into the third eye, but is to just, and you can do it at the traffic light, but these are nice to do in the morning. So we're doing the morning with 2-3 minutes of end exercise, is to stare at a pen or your finger like your life depends upon it, just for 30 seconds. It's really hard, but as long as you can. The other one that you can do to improve to open up the third eye is to look at the clock, with your eyes, go round and round and round, just like 3 times and then 3 times the other way. The other one I like to do, especially over and above the stretching, is your neck exercise, because your energy, our spine is our connection. So the energy, and this here at the back here, is called the mouth of God. So just remind me about that one. Then do your washing, do your bathing. I like to do to do some ohms in the bathroom, and to do some of my chanting. I like my singing, so I sing my Om Namah Shivaya in the bath or in the bathroom when I'm doing my ablutions. And then do a symbolic sweep, even if it's just a symbolic sweep, to just chase some of the negative energies that have settled over the night on your front doorstep. You can do it as if it's just symbolic, but just try to remember to do it. Even if you have no time, just do it in your head. The ancient cultures, they don't use these brooms. They use twigs and straw, which is collected together. And those are really, really, they're sweeping away the negative energies. So hopefully that will start you off on a good morning. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but television, the rays from television, not from movies, but from television, go straight to the mouth of God. We were taught, it wasn't taught like that when I was in the Waldorf school. This is like, I've got a lot of history in the Waldorf school from the 90s, many years. I'm, an assistant teacher, blah, 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 blah. But television, the rays from television we were told, go straight into the point where you get to in deepest prayer. So that's why we are so programmed by television. Just be very, very selective what you're watching. So it's not just movies. If you're watching the news, you are being straight programmed to think this is your space of holy high prayer. So especially right now, be very, very, very careful with the what you're watching on television. I hope I go to Adam on a Sunday for my weekly news and blues, as well as beautiful community. The community this week was absolutely incredible, and Josh's community is also, it's just growing and growing and growing. Yeah, right, okay. Just some other things that will drain your energy. We don't do dried flowers and we don't do dead plants. So please get rid of those. There are always exceptions to the rule. I had a client who she phoned every Feng Shui consultant because she didn't want to get rid of her dried proteas. And I went to her again. I said, nothing's going to shift. She had like hundreds of them. I said, nothing is going to shift until you move these hundreds of dead proteas out of your life. On the other hand, I had another client who wanted to get rid of, she had a beautiful garland made of dried flowers, but this was what she got married in. And I said, no. We're talking people here. That has got the love energy in that is so much more potent and powerful. So frame it and keep it really special and acknowledge it with all the love and the candles that you enjoyed your marriage. Yeah, ancient. So it's right now is hugely raising our level of consciousness this week. As I've said, and because we're going to be starting with the 5 elements. So the Om Namah Shivaya relates to the 5 elements, and all of cosmos is made up of the 5 elements, which is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. In Chinese elements, the ether is wood and metal is air. So if you know a little bit about it, that's how it works. There's a whole long story which I will build up as well, because my people perish for lack of knowledge. And when you know what's happening, you will understand it more. It sounds a lot, but all of this happens in a couple of split seconds. Oh, I wanted to it was so interesting. We were talking about music. So we all listen to music, but all the elements listen to music slightly differently. So if you're a fire element like Josh, he loves his music, but he also can tell you who it is or the movies. And I just laugh because I know Josh is like a fire element. So he can give you all the intellectual blah, blah, blah about it. I can't. It's really interesting. But you can say, and you'll tell the date and who it was, and this one played here, and the band's got this one. Can't hear you, Josh. Unmute yourself.
I do that all the time. I always forget to mute. Yeah, if I hear a song, I can play it in my head like it's like I'm hearing it like on the stereo. You name a song, yeah, I know. Generally, I know that. Adam's better at that than Adam's got that too, and Adam's way better at that. Adam knows all these obscure songs from like the Moody Blues and such, and he's really down into the deep tracks. But yeah, music is my life basically.
I think Adam holds a space of knowledge in Feng Shui, so that's also interesting that he does that. So everybody kind of listens to music differently. I'm a wood element, so I drain on music, I draw on music, and I turn on silence. Like silence is a kind of music for me as well. I am very choosy about the music that I listen to. It has to like have and I can like within the first couple of beats, bars of a music, I will see if I like it or not. So interestingly enough, I have an incredible photographic memory for things, but I don't know the lyrics of music. Many years ago, I used to just listen to I followed guitarists. I just was obsessed with guitarists. I've built and lost collections of music, many collections of music over the years. It's been very interesting. So I wondered why people even bothered to write lyrics. Lyrics didn't work for me. It was the music that was really the soul. If you're an earth element, you like to have music in the background, and it doesn't really matter. These are the people that have the TV on just so that they need to have somebody in the home, or they obviously they do listen to music, but they can have the radio on in the background. Metal people are very diverse. They tend to go for like the Shostakovich stuff, very obscure music, usually with quite a heavier beat, very dramatic music. So what else? And water people, water is music, so they will also be very, very precise about the music that they listen to and the mood that the music is creating. They are very often musicians. That's what I'm going to say. Yes, I'm absolutely loving it that everybody is, well, not everybody, but so many people are talking about wanting to create music, even just your pans. I can't do the music here. We have German neighbors, so they will complain, but I do sing. I don't sing. I chant and I tone in the mornings. So I like to wake up the birds. I sing with the birds in the morning. in my kitchen. So that's or in the bathroom. Any questions so far? Oh, I've just got this here. Yeah, just keep this hugely in the back of your mind or in the front of your mind. And Josh said it so beautifully. Josh, you say something so, so beautifully. I really what would my higher self want me to do? You came up with that a couple of weeks ago, I think. And just keep reminding people every choice we have has like, I don't know, 242 choices that we do. So ask the angels at night to strengthen you to hear and to listen and to follow the right thing. Because this is really where we're pushing, and we need to just like be stronger and stronger in our central core and in the light that we're emanating. This is our biggest job this week. I think it was Kofi Annan, and our life is governed by the choices we make. And in order to make good choices, we need to know who we are and what we stand for. I added on.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that out there real quick because Millie put in there that she doesn't know what element she. So how do people go about finding out what earth
We're
element they
going
are?
to do the elements. We're going to start on the elements next week. And then you'll have to email me and I will send you my list. You can find it, some you can find it, but our work, thanks for reminding me, that's what I wanted to do. We wanted to do with yin and yang. I work with a male, I work with a black hat. So male and female have got a different element for a different year. It goes on the year of your birth. And it's usually from around about the middle of February when the Chinese year starts. The Chinese don't have birthdays. They only have one birthday. Everybody has a birthday at the beginning of the Chinese New Year. So if you're born on the 5th of September, it means nothing. You will have your birthday on the 28th of January or whatever when that year began. That's what. Sorry, this was so important because I wanted to because whether we like it or not, boys and girls are born different. I know there's a lot of like discussion out there in the woke society as to what we are. That was it was from the beginning where we start with the Wu Wei, and that is where we want to get back to, which is the absolute nothing, which is that point of stillness where we strive to get to in our meditation. And after that, the Wu Wei split into two, where we had the movement of yin and yang. If you stand with a cup, and it's got to be like milky tea or milky coffee, and you swirl it around like this, okay? And you look under a light, you will actually see a yin and yang form. Don't drop the cup. It's quite amazing because the yin and yang is not a stagnant image. It's actually in movement, but it's difficult to portray it as moving. And it's constantly moving. And it's constantly, which is what we also, and it's constantly overtaking. So when there's too much male energy, then it goes into the female energy. Then it overtakes and constantly swirling and constantly striving to keep in balance. It is so important to bring this balance into our lives. Looking around your home, have you got big and small? Have you got light and dark? These are just be aware of it. Be aware of it when you're driving. I heard somewhere, which is so interesting, that everything has a twin. You know, like leaves on a tree, it always fascinated me that every single leaf is different. There are zillions and trillions and billions of leaves. But apparently each leaf has a twin. So every person has a twin soul. There's been a lot of, and try not to get down into this. This is what I wanted to try to discuss a little bit tonight as well, because we missed the yin yang, is try not to get too sucked into this twin souls, twin flames. The most important thing is to have a good relationship with yourself. And just while we're growing up, and you can think about your own life, children, this is part of the Steiner thing, children up until the age of 7 have no idea as to whether they're actually boy or girl. So you're talking to a little girl about her boyfriend. She's got friend boys. She doesn't see a sexuality. However, yes, if a handsome man walks into the room, a little girl will always do this. Even babies kind of perk up when somebody's handsome. The other thing that's really interesting is that when we go through puberty, and if you think back in your own life, there will always be somebody of the same sex that you looked up to, that you fell in love with, that was your role model. Could have been like a prefect at school, could have been a teacher at school. Some people do take it into a relationship with that person, but it's just that time in our teenagehood where we are bonding very much with the same sex person, and they will usually very often have a big influence on the rest of our life, of how we thought we will dress. They will have influenced our dress, they will have influenced our attitude, the way that we work. So give that some thought. So this is why it's just also so important to bring that aspect of yin and yang. It just all works here, back to our mouth of God, back to our subconscious brain. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, it just also came up here as well, is that any good affirmations and healing, if you haven't done the Louise Hay thing or know of the Louise Hay book, You Can Heal Your Life. I'm sure you can get it as a free audio if you dig around on YouTube. But I do strongly suggest that you work with some of those affirmations if you're having healing crisis. She goes into what was happening in your life and why you stubbed your toe, and the positive affirmation. So I mean, as she says, and we know this, there are no accidents. So if you have knee problems, you're resisting moving forward in life, but she will give you the positive affirmation as well. So it's really it's almost like I won't say a Bible, but it's definitely a good reference book to have. There were a lot of things. I think it was Yogananda who said that the reason that people don't heal is that when they healed, they forget about God. And when we're in crisis, we get down on our knees and we talk to God. So try to speed up that healing. We've got lots and lots and lots of healing to do, because we need our vessels to be so pure, to be to move into this next phase of where our earth is going. Just some couple of rules of financial rules. Money cuts karma. So there should be payment, some small exchange. That's why prostitutes charge money, so they don't take on the karma. I think we spoke about that as well, where we pay for a sweater or we pay for a knife, pay for shoes that somebody has given you because we don't want that person to walk out of our life. So we know that money will cut karma. The other important thing to do with money is to be tithing. Every religion talks about it. So it's 10%. It's not always in money. I've heard some wonderful things, because a lot of people, but it is where you get your knowledge from, where you get your most knowledge from. It doesn't have to all go into that area. I had a client that bought actually the Louise Hay books for a whole lot of people, because she had such incredible transformation with that book. So she would buy like a crate of a box of Louise Hay books, and that was her tithing. So she just gave them to friends and random strangers. We build up good karma by giving more than our 10%. And you can do this with your energy as well. It's not just with money. If you got a big sorry, we had a lot of discussions at the time over that with the tithing. So if you're supporting like the animals or you feel for the monkeys, then give it to the Chimpanzee Association. I think you're with me. So just the other thing, we have a lot of street people in South Africa. So wanting to give money all the time can become like it gets extremely draining. And I realized I was just giving at one stage, especially when I came back from the States, I was just giving out so much money when I sort of stopped to think about it. So I would take an amount of money and put it in my glove compartment. And when that money was finished, then it was finished. And remember, they don't always need money. They might just need a little chat or that old pair of jeans, or a parcel of clothing. There's just so many ways that you can actually uplift people's souls. All of these things vibrate with money, which is why we've worked a lot with them. Your bathroom, your water, blocked taps, your drain pipes, your drains, keeping the toilet closed. These are we will get into the kitchen, which is really where you do cook up your money. But I didn't want to. I felt really strongly to just make sure that we've got our feet on the ground this week. We will start looking at the kitchen and at the five elements is going to take a good 2 days. So good 2 things, because there's so much, and it's going to be teach yourself Feng Shui, because then you really know that you know that you know. But for now, know that you know that you know that you know. It's within your hearts. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, Chris, may it come back to you multiplied in huge. Yeah. Just you can start it with your stove. I did talk a bit to Josh about that. As I said, stove, your kitchen is where we cook up our wealth, but our health as well. So we'll spend a bit of time on that. But just for now, clean your stove really well and make sure that you use all your burners. We tend to only use 1 or 2. So if you start giving the others a chance, you will find that money will come in from different places. Yeah, I know, and it really hurts my heart so much when people get so focused on money. I don't have money at the moment. My life did some really interesting things. But I've always called myself the rich little poor girl. Not the poor little rich girl, but the rich little poor girl. I had an incredibly, and still have, an incredibly abundant and blessed life. My needs are taken care of. Maybe I should have bigger dreams for my needs, but I know that I have. The idea that you want is like, just be careful with saying God will supply all my needs, because our needs are very small. We just need a roof over our head, clothing, food, and a friend. So very, very minimal. So your idea is that we can actually pay our bills with ease and have money for free time, money for play and holidays. There was something I wanted to say about money for free time. I forgot. The other thing that was really, really important, yes, if 2 things, they were both, that's why I remembered. If you don't use your stove, put a plant on your stove, even if it's a fake plant, but put a plant on your stove, because that represents food, the greenery, and that makes the energy think that you're actually cooking. I know, I think some of us are retired here, so we don't cook as much as we used to. Oh yeah, lots of things here. When you're at your door, sorry, I'm jumping around a bit, but this was like being a jumpy around, but these are all really, really important things. Our posture, this was back to our straight spine and where the energy is coming down, which is I want us to really work at our portal. think about it as much as you can in the day, but every time you go through a portal, try to think, especially at your front door, am I standing straight? The Buddhists say that enlightenment, it's like 70% is posture, and they're very right. If you're walking like this, the energy can't move through your back. So when you're meditating, also try to, if you're sitting in a chair or you're sitting cross-legged, the whole thing is it's the spine, which is really the most important thing that we're worrying about with meditation. That energy is going up and down the spine and obviously being stopped in our beautiful heart. From the base of the spine up to the medulla oblongata and then down again to the base of the spine. All 33 vertebrae. Did you like that one, Josh? Oh, Josh, I hope you get that every time I see 33, because I have some issues with my mother, and she was born in 1933. So every time I see a 33, I just send her so much love and energy and blessings and angels' wings and music and whatever else needs to be comfortable. But because of your 33 thing, you've jumped into the picture as well. So I hope you get some of the 33 wishes that
Thank you.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm doing it anyway, you might as well jump in there as it is.
Yeah, and I like the
Yes.
idea of what you said about putting money in the glove box. I take a 20 and I'll just break it down into fives, and then
Yeah.
when it's gone, depending on I'll just get another 20 and break it down into
Yeah.
fives. But then everybody gets a five, and unless somebody looks like they really need something, then I'll give them two fives or something. But yeah, exactly.
And it's
And
it's just I thought, I mean, because and then they would see like some of these old black ladies with their grandchildren, and I would give them pen and paper. They were so overjoyed to have this pen and paper. Obviously they like the money, but the pen and paper to keep the little kids like busy on the street. People don't think. It's not always money that they need. But that does work, because it can, like, the next thing you know, you're giving away $100 a week. And it's
right,
like, well,
exactly.
are you going crazy?
Exactly. Then I had somebody walk into the store, right? She was from Costa Rica, and she said, "Wherever I go, I leave you with more abundance than me." And so she gives me $2 to represent her and $2 to represent me. And so I have $2 bills. And she does that wherever she goes. She just gives everybody she meets $2 bills as I'm leaving you with more abundance and a remembrance of me. So
Oh, that's so amazing. When I came back from the States and came back to South Africa, I had what was called, and this is also, it's pay your things with joy and happiness. Start singing over your money. Start singing when you've got to pay your bills, even if it's harsh. Before I left the States, I had a sewing machine, and I had a friend that was in the movie industry, and they'd finished like filming, and it was a wrap. And what they did was everybody took $1 and they signed on the dollar, and then they put it into a fishbowl. And whoever, they signed their name, and whoever got the lucky draw got all the money. Anyway, she got the lucky draw, and it was just the right amount to pay for my sewing machine that she wanted.
nice.
So yeah, but I had
Awesome.
this incredible happy money. This money was so amazing because it was just $1. People had written or drawn, well, signed their name on it, written little pictures. I don't know, America, obviously you can write on your money, but I wallpapered my office with this happy money. The energy was just so incredible. So really force yourself. My father was always angry. Well, my sister says she was always angry on a Thursday, which was the day that he paid wages. But yeah, it was a lot of wages. Right. Any quick questions? For now, we've got really a lot. So work on your being grounded, being the light that you are, especially if you're halfway awake, because that's what we need right now. Josh hopefully will do some. Yeah, they ask for pen. That is, Karen, thank you so much for that. Yeah. Yeah, some, what, they can't eat money. But pens, yeah, pens. Yeah, it's not always money that people like. And yeah, trust yourself. There are a lot of fake people out there as well. They're all over the world. So our work for this week is get yourself a beautiful morning routine that shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, which should include chanting, affirmations, a quick prayer, and meditation. They don't have to be that long, maybe a bit longer than 5 minutes. Don't forget your exercises, to wash and to sweep symbolically so that your energy in your home is cleared, your energy is clearing at the same time. Flush, that can be your wash. Flush with the violet flame every morning, every evening, and at least 350 times during the day. Any tiny little twinge that you have, flush. When we work on the bagua, I just saw that Suzette did a lot of healing with her father work. We will be able to then work with our mother energy. I had a client that painted her door. It was just remind me, if you don't use your front door, it's really important to symbolically seal it up. Either do front door day once a week, be very conscious of coming into your front door, or if you don't use it at all, put a plant in front of it so that it's not putting out false symbols, false alert to people out there. Anyway, she was painting the inside of her door because she didn't use her front door, and that was in her mother area. Because Feng Shui also, I think I did tell you that a Chinese physician will very often go to your home to find what's wrong in your home. But we'll talk about that another time with how it affects your physicalities. But yeah, she just said to me, and she said the paint wouldn't take. It was my fault. I didn't tell her to put a base coat on. So if you're painting, often the wood will just like absorb. But she said it was the most incredible afternoon. She sat and she painted her door, and she cried and she cried and she cried, and she painted and she painted and she cried, and it was just all gone. So there are beautiful ways that we can work with this, and you'll find your own ways. Any questions for now? Have I given you enough? I hope you took notes.
I did.
Remember, this keeps coming up to me. Incompletions drain your energy. Incompletions drain your energy.
I like that. So what do you, if you have something that's incomplete that you've left, you can just call it back or seal it off.
Yeah, no, you just decide. You say, okay, I'm making this decision. I will complete it. I will never complete it, and I might complete it in the future. And it can be like something that you were always going to do. You know, like I had cross stitch samplers, and I said I'm saving those because I got halfway through some of them. I said I'm saving them for my retirement, and then I can't remember when it was when I left. I gave them all to somebody that did cross stitch. That was then later. I decided I would never do them. My retirement was going to be much more interesting than doing embroidery.
Fantastic.
So just make a conscious decision to go through a list of things. Just do it on a Saturday afternoon or one evening, and just think of all the things that you haven't completed, projects that you have started and not completed. It's fine. We're all like that. Oh, thanks, Adam. Appreciate that. I hope we all got something out of that, because it reminds me also.
Yeah, I got to work on my morning routine because I'll get up and then and I'll preach it on the Good Dawning there, but then I'll get up and grab my phone and such. So, but I mean, obviously, Good Dawning is a good morning routine for myself Monday through Friday. But yeah, I've got to not reach for my phone immediately, and kind of I like that. I don't have a morning mantra or anything per se, but I've been grateful and when I stomp my feet on the ground and all right, more love, please, and whatnot. But so yeah, I might need to do some quiet thought on what might center me better in the dawning there when I wake up and get out of bed.
We'll talk about that the 6 true words, and then there are the 6 clearing colors. the 6 true colors of Buddha, and the 6 clearing words is the Om Mani Padme Hum. There's a lot, and if you go into any Chinese restaurant, they're playing that on a loop. It's a very nice one to, you know, the more that you chant these things, the more that they get stuck into your brain.
This is true.
And that you'll find that when you're walking outside, you've got this Om Mani Padme Hum. I mean, I worked with that for a while here. I still do it, but I shared it also with my son. Whenever I had negative thoughts come into my head or negative attitudes towards people, I would just put it in the Om Mani Padme Hum. Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you too very much.
Yeah, if you're not watching,
Absolutely.
check out Chris is doing a daily with Archangel Gabriel there, so make sure you check those out.
I will do. I must do.
Chris,
Yeah.
the volunteer. But this has been
So,
amazing.
same time next week.
Absolutely. Same time, same channel. We're going to do this for the unforeseeable future, I would imagine.
Well, there's always more energy. And you know what, guys? I've got a lot of, well, I don't have that much time, but I tend to, I'm a seeker. I'm like a show. I've always had that where knowledge and things have always just like come to me. So I will later on, but I don't want to confuse people, and I also don't want to be responsible for pointing you into the direction of channels which you could like go down a big spiral. But
Yeah, discernment on YouTube these days, even discern everything you hear. Krista's, I mean, there's not much
thank
to
you,
discern there with
Scotty.
Krista. It's pretty straight on, but absolutely. These days, and there's the big ones that we all know, but try not, be careful if you stray off path. We all know who the decent ones generally are.
Yeah.
Billy Carson, we know who to stick with, and we know who to run away from. And if you've got a question on anybody's message, just turn it off. The message really comes from here
And
anyways.
it's maybe it's just not for you. And also you'll find that now, just and listen to yourselves. I'm sorry, it's so this week and moving on from now is to really get your roots into the ground. You know, stick with what you believe right now. You might find that you're not listening to those people anymore. Or for some reason it's just jarring. It's you don't need to hear it. We're not going to find God by knowledge. The knowledge is good, but you know, if you're living in a little island, you're not having all this knowledge. You're dealing with the earth, you're dealing with food, you're dealing with the sunshine in the morning, you're dealing with the birds, you're dealing with survival, and definitely with fire and the elements. These are the salt of the earth, the ancient tribes. They don't have television. They don't have access to Billy Carson and YouTube.
No, they don't know what's going on. They just know what's in front of them, which is their daily.
They
They
know
are present.
exactly what's
They're just
going
living
on.
in present, right? Their present moment, because that's all that they've got.
Absolutely.
Right.
And they're tuned into the earth. They're giving thanks. They're singing songs to the water. When these people are collecting water in Africa too, they're down at the river. I love that when you go out into the homelands and at sunset, it is so beautiful. You smell the fires and you hear the singing because they go down to the water and they sing. They're going in their little and carrying their water back home again. It is just, I mean, it's so sacred. Now we say, oh, it's wonderful. We're not doing that. Are we singing over our water? No, we're
Yeah,
not.
but well, some of us are. Some of us tape the word love to their on side of their water
Yeah.
pitcher and all that stuff. But yeah, but those are people like myself who know. But if you don't know, then yeah, you're. I know a lot of people who are say some pretty crazy stuff and then drink their water. So yeah, but then you swallow the energetics and then it's what you right.
But
Exactly.
nobody can deny that you should be grateful. So you can take that gratitude as woo-woo as you like, but it's
True.
just be so grateful. Be grateful that you can switch on a light and this boom, light comes on. Be so grateful you can push a button and you get music.
You don't have to push a button. We can hey, play this, and that's all you got to do. We don't have to say. All we do is say it out loud. If you have your phone set for that, or
And
you
then
have
so
one of
when
the things in your house.
but really so much, especially, and well, it's just going to as I said to you, I think last week or the week before, you better put on your big boots, guys, because this is not going to stop until for another 5 years. So
No, it's gonna get
thank you.
this. I think this week is we've been. You know what? Let's be honest. And I'm grateful, and you know, not in my universe or any, but let's be on planet Earth. Since we figured out what was otherwise, and we stepped up. We're not going to say anything about the 19 and the vocid. We're gonna there we go. We'll invert the word. The vocid. There we go. So yeah, I think that our next whatever they is in favor to us. But yeah, with the elections in America this week, I think it's going to be. It's been nice and chill. So enjoy for now, and I think it'll get chill again around Christmas. But the next few weeks, it's going to be just remember, not my universe. And if you turn it all off and you just go to the grocery store and stuff, it's not there. You don't see any of it at all. If you just are living your life and you turn it all off, unless you're like standing in DC or something, it's not there. You're not going to see it.
Worry about your own doorstep. Worry about your own energetics this week, especially this week. Do a lot of light work within yourself. I mean, I could say pray for me, but it's not really. It's just doing that energy, just making yourself the most magnificent human being that you are right now. You don't need much more. We've got this incredible family here with Josh and the few little tendrils, with Adam and things. It's a beautiful, and this has been also this the last week was very much working with our ancestors and creating and finding our family on this earth, whether it's our real family or whether it's this family that we have. And we're finding that those bonds are getting tighter and tighter and tighter.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the real family. And I mean, I have my dad, but you guys are my real family. He doesn't understand, and he's seen me once on YouTube, and he's like, that's nice. And that's about it. So you guys are the real family here. Really, thank you. When this week comes around, Tuesday, Wednesday will be different on Good Dawning, because we'll do a little more meditation, a little more quiet and peace for the planet here, and especially Tuesday, because we want to wake up Wednesday and find it our universe is nice and peaceful and everything is good. But yeah,
whoever wins is going to be drama.
Of course.
It doesn't matter.
It's just about which size of the drama and how large does it get around the planet is the question here. Depending on who.
Important that we are anchoring in our light right now. That is what the planet needs, because as we anchor it in, as we just for ourselves, don't even think about the planet. Be completely selfish in anchoring your violet flame, your violet light. Josh is doing amazing stuff. It was an incredible reading with Adam. Do your singing. There's nothing more amazing than using your voice or doing your drumming or whatever you're doing right now. It's the heartbeat of the earth. And you'll be amazed if you sing with your eyes closed. Yeah, ground. If you sing with your eyes closed, you will be amazed as to what praise or what holiness just rises within you. Just make sounds, just do toning, sing in tongues or whatever of angels if you can, but just exercise your voice. All of our voices have been hurt. We've all got pain from our childhood somewhere with talking. So, and it's not just one, it's all over the place, and just forget about it. Just that purple flame. Josh is doing so much good work. You have no idea what huge work you are doing. And it's the most simple things that Josh is doing that are actually just like going straight to the core, simply pulling it out so quickly, evaporating, saying, shit, I didn't even realize that affected me so much. And that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't hook onto these things. These are like thought forms. If you want to know Mandy P. Hall, we'll talk about thought forms. These things are scary, but don't entertain them. Just chant whichever chant you have. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. They're the 6 true words of Buddha, and they cut any negativity. They just do it. So you can do research if you want, or you can just know that they are the 6 true
Of
words.
course, you could just make up your own chant too if you really want to.
Or make up your own. Om is
Right.
also incredible.
I personally, I don't really have a chant per se, but generally I'll just, I'm peaceful, loving, what have you, or just, and just even if it's not even that, it's just centering yourself down and just bringing in that energy.
Yeah.
And then today, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know about anybody else, but my energy's been completely off today. Like really, I think it's that, and it's probably more collective that I'm feeling, that it's the collective before what's about to go down in the States, and the collective with that, and the what's going on over with in the Middle East. We're not going to name specific countries because even that could put a check mark on the channel.
It's
with
everywhere.
planes being moved and other things. So yeah, this is
And
collective
Europe,
going on.
Europe,
right?
don't look to it. That's why really it's like that's I think anybody out there is just talking about grounding and being, because we are birthing the new human. Well, we're just remembering the old human. And
Right.
this is the most, and it's up to you, each individual. It's not up to Josh. Josh is doing amazing things, but you can use, lose, or abuse. No, you can't abuse the energy that he's sharing. Yeah, but you can use it or lose it. It doesn't matter. Josh's energy is incredible and pretty neutral. You can use it or not use it. But at the same time, know that tonight Josh isn't around. So remember that purple flame and that purple fire, because you have to be independent and you have to be only responsible for this.
Absolutely.
There's a huge responsibility going out there, is to be responsible for your own energy. Be responsible for your doorstep. That's why I cannot emphasize, check that portal. That portal is so beautiful and so amazing to just stop. I'm trying to get you to reprogram yourself so subconsciously at that front door that every time you walk through a front door, you're going to be programmed. And we walk through so many doors in a day.
Yeah, they don't put the word entrance on top of the door for a reason. It's not entrance, it's in trance.
It's to entrance.
T-R-A-N-C. They're entrancing you to come into the door, into the whatever it is.
Yeah.
And human language is amazing.
It's all in the language. And that it does. That's the first thing you see. And I mean, how many thousands things we're seeing in a split second is incredible. But that is programming your subconscious. And this is, it's called living under the canopy of heaven for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It is our ancient future. It is one of the ancient blueprints for living harmoniously with everything, not just wealth, not just health, happiness as well, joy, good relationships with your family. Whether you talk to them anymore or you don't, at least you've put it at rest.
Exactly. I think it's a good place to kind of end it right there, actually. I think that's a good place. We've been an hour and a half, which is amazing. Thank you. I know, amazing, isn't it? Time just goes right when we're having if you sit around with somebody and you're just like sitting there and trying to, sometimes you can't fill an hour and a half of anything. And the time just flew right by. And thank you so much. Did anybody have any questions from the chat real quick before we say goodnight and it's like 2 a.m. Did you guys, your clocks change? So are we a little bit better? It's like 1 a.m.
It's 2:30. What is it?
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's 2:30.
2:30 in the morning there. So are you going to be up at 2:30 here in the States there? It must be late there. Yes, it is at 2:30 a.m. All right. So we thank you, Blindly Inspired. We are grateful, Krista, for you and for your knowledge and you being here. Please check out our channel. All you have to do is type in Blindly Inspired in YouTube. It's smart because like Krista Volunteer, she's the only one that comes up. And same with type in Krista Volunteer as well, and you'll see he's the only one that comes up. And the Medium channel, he's the only one that comes up too. Pretty smart. Millie, she's the only one that comes up as well. And if you type in Mr. Floyd's Universe, I'm the only one that shows up as well. So if you check out all of those, you'll see the family there. And we have more, but And of course, check out Chris every day. And of course, Krista as well, who's putting out shorts and amazing items. She edited a video on your car and all kinds of stuff I need to get back over. I've haven't been on YouTube too much past couple of days to get back over and check out your channel. And where's Jared? Hopefully he's not here, but Huda in walking around India. So if he's yeah, check out some of his videos and shorts at Diwali. And all right, thank you, Millie. Krista Volunteers link is there, and thank you again, Krista, for everything. Do you have some final words for tonight?
I think I'm just going to repeat, just be the purest channel of light with your feet on the ground and connected to the heavens, and just be a good representation of of a human being. Remember, the angels are watching.
Bless. And join us this week on Good Dawning. We're going to Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll Saint Germain, Mother Goddess Isis, Kuan Yin, and White Buffalo Calf Woman all want to help us stay on course. And so they're going to, I'm seeing this multi-channeling piece thing that they're not telling me much. They just said, stay tuned. There we go. So something's going on Tuesday, Wednesday with them. And of course, if you're in America, Tuesday, Wednesdays, there's something going on here. So bring some peace into your heart this week. It's going to be an interesting week. This may be one of those weeks that you may never forget, or it may just not in our universe, right? Maybe it'll just be the most peaceful week we never thought we would have, right? You never know.
Absolutely.
So we're going to put that out there instead. We're not going to
you're going to
take
do
any
a lot
of
of Kuan Yin this week, that beautiful, unconditional, compassionate heart of Kuan Yin. She's very dear to me.
Yes, and lots of grace. We need this country's going to need some grace in the next few days.
We're going to do Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin's a healer. You must talk about, if just read up on Kuan Yin, who she was and what she stands for. She's got a very beautiful story. And if you want to go to Shambhala, you're going to meet Kuan Yin, you're going to meet the Buddha. You're not really going to Saint Germain's moved over to Telos. He's not, I mean, he hangs out, but he's not really there.
He's in Telos. They see him every night. I described the break room in Telos, the coffee room. It looks like a coffee room from like a 1970s cop show or something, like Barney Miller's coffee room. Like the break room or something. But yeah, no, absolutely. I will read up on her. A lot of all this, through all this challenge, they're not wanting me, and it's really weird. They're not wanting me to do a lot of look me up and look at my history, per se, what comes through Saint Germain is what's coming through. They're really wanting me to focus on the message, but Kuan Yin is like, yeah, read a little bit and you'll understand a little bit more, is what she's saying.
I'll send you some things in an email, Josh. I'll send you a nice link to somebody to read up stuff, to listen to on YouTube.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
It's awesome. Anyway, we'll chat another time. Love you all.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this here. It's been an hour and a half, and I am grateful. So just like going to the movies here, you can come to Mr. Floyd's universe. And right. So thank you guys so much. We are grateful. Thank you again, Krista, and we'll all see you tomorrow. If you're new here and you catch this in the rewind, you made it this far, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And of course, this channel, I am live Monday through Friday at 10:33 a.m. Eastern Time, 7:33 a.m. Pacific, where we channel a memory of Archangel Raphael, Saint Germain, Goddess Isis, Kuan Yin, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Sekhmet, and probably more shortly. And who knows? But grateful nonetheless. And thank you, Krista. And you get some sleep there. Favor. 2:30 in the morning. Thank you for staying up so late with us. All right, guys.
I snoozed earlier. I did have a snooze.
Oh, there you go. Oh, blessed. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And
thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed. Just take 10% of what you learned, what you got today, and you'll be fine. Just remember, keep your feet firmly on the ground and don't reach for the stars. It's rude. Ask somebody to pass them to you.
There you go. And Nathan, favor to your first night in your or second night in your new apartment there. First night. Favor to that, Nathan. It's actually his first night. So sleep with peace, love, and joy. And do not forget to get in touch with Krista. And
I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah, you guys communicate there and get your bed set in the right spot for a better future there. All right, guys. We love you. I love you. Love you, Krista. Thank you so much. And
Thank
we will
you.
all see you in the next. Catch you in the dawning. Much love, guys. And of course,
Love,
don't
love,
forget to
love.
check out @blindly inspired.